Alright guys, the first One UI 9 beta is here and I spent a lot of time figuring out everything that's new in it. And it's not a big, huge update, but just enough for me to make a video for you. And let me not waste any more of your time, let's start with what's new in the lock screen. And the biggest change here is in the music player widget. Not only is the animation a lot smoother, you get this neon glow in the progress bar and that wave animation. And now it just feels very fluid. Now here's a side-by-side comparison with the older One UI in slow motion just to show that difference. Also, the buttons are not stuffed into a card like in older One UI. And when you tap on these music controls, they have this subtle animation that I think looks cool. Unnecessary, but cool. I like it. And just for fun, I wanted to see if it's a lot smoother than ColorOS. So I slowed them side by side just to see that difference. You let me know in the comments. Lastly, if you go into Lockscreen clock customization, you can see that Samsung has added a slight bounce animation to certain clock styles. Also, this clock style is completely new with its own set of styles. And that's pretty much it, guys. I really hope that Samsung would have added some lock screen preset themes like we see in ColorOS or OxygenOS or even the new OriginOS, but nope. Anyway, let's talk about what's new in the home screen. So, like on the lock screen, you'll see the same changes to the music player here as well as in the quick settings. And the biggest changes are actually in the quick settings panel. So first, the media player quick setting is resizable now. In the older One UI, you could only change the height of that widget, but now you can make it into a square tile or a full-length widget and of course make it larger too. Another change is in the brightness and the volume controls. See, it was weird, but in the older One UI, the dark mode option and the mute button were stuck with the brightness and the volume sliders. So you couldn't edit them and take them out separately. But with One UI 9, these are standalone quick settings now, and I can now edit them and move them around. Also, I noticed that the brightness and the volume controls are a bit thicker, so that makes it more touch or finger friendly. But you know what Samsung's been missing for a while now is a toggle button to turn auto brightness on or off. See, in ColorOS or OriginOS, I can just tap here to toggle auto brightness on or off. But in Samsung, I have to long press on the brightness bar to do that thing. I know I'm being too picky, but I really needed that. Anyway, but that's all that I could see in the home screen. Let's talk about a few settings that Samsung has introduced and might be very useful. First, they've introduced a new setting that lets you cut off internet access to a specific app while your phone remains connected to the internet. So if you want your WhatsApp to go offline or your Instagram to go offline, you can now do that. For this, you need to go into Wi-Fi intelligent settings, then into connectivity labs, and you'll see a new feature called network restriction. And then just go ahead and you can add WhatsApp or any other app that you don't want to be using internet data. In fact, you'll be able to set this restriction for a specific time duration as well. I think it's great if you just want to shut off access to a specific app, be it to save data or to just not get distracted. Very good. Next, there's a brand new parental control section. Now, it was there earlier as well, but now it's a lot clean and easy to use. So you can set time limits based on whether your child is using the phone on weekdays or weekends. You could set time limits for individual apps as well. So let's say your child spends a lot of time on YouTube. You could go ahead and set a time limit specifically just for YouTube. Could be very handy. You can even control the kind of apps they see in Play Store and prevent installation of inappropriate apps. And although you could do this from inside Play Store already, but it's great that Samsung has put this all under one roof. Lastly, guys, let's talk about some changes in the native apps. First, while adding a contact, you can now decide what they should look like when they call you. So you go in here, choose their picture, give it your own unique spin. Like I took my photo and said, playing a guitar. Once done, I can just go ahead and set it as the contact card. And I can try multiple ideas on anyone's photo and have it show up when they call you. Next, if you go into Samsung's Notes app, there's this new tape feature and it lets you redact sensitive stuff. In fact, there are more tape designs, assuming you've got an actual preference for this stuff. And then you can tap on it to reveal what's been redacted, and of course you can just remove this markup with an eraser. Honestly, I'm not sure why this is an add-on, and I really think Samsung needs to put in a lot of work in their Notes app. I've used Apple Notes. It's a lot better. So again, not sure why Samsung undertreats its Notes app, but a lot of work to be done there. Now, if you're into gaming, there's a very small update that might be helpful. So now, while gaming, you can enable bypass charging from the game menu and even set the screenshot size right from here. I mean, you could do this earlier as well, but it was a whole other menu outside of the game, so this makes it very easy. Next is the Files app, and it's got a slight change in the way it looks. It's just better organized. Like earlier, you had different file types here and downloads separately here along with recent files. But now in the new one, you've got all file types in this grid style, including downloads, and recent files is like this standalone unit, definitely cleaner. And you know, earlier you had internal storage and external storage as different units separated by utilities in between, which was so weird. Now they fixed that, all storage types in one card here and utilities separate. But yeah, that's it guys, I'm sure there are plenty more changes in One UI 9 that I haven't mentioned, but I wanted to highlight the ones that I thought would really make a difference to you. Now, again, as I said, not a big change, definitely not worth One UI 9 label, could have been a One UI 8.6. But the big question, when is it gonna roll out? So it's gonna come with the launch of Galaxy Fold 8 and Flip 8 next month, probably last week of July. And then it's gonna roll out to the Galaxy S26 series, and then to last year's flagships like the Fold 7, the Flip 7, the S25 series, and then it's gonna, roll out to other devices. Now, typically that takes about a couple of months to a year, maybe more sometimes, but I don't have a date plan right now. But yeah, let me know which amongst these features really speak to you. Let me know in the comment section, and if you did enjoy watching the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel guys, hit that bell notification icon and mark all, really helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.